From this remote location, find out what a remote tax appointment looks like for you in this video. Hello again, I am Alison Eddings. I'm a CPA in private tax practice, and I am here to talk to you today about what a remote appointment looks like. We are in a remote location talking about remote tax prep, so you don't have to come into my office. As COVID times change and fluctuate, we'll see what happens. But for right now, we're not seeing people in the office. Honestly, nobody really wants to come in. So what does that look like? If you were to pop onto my calendar to schedule an appointment, Chris or somebody is going to, Lauren, Luciana is going to give you a call and say, hey, what's going on? Because typically they schedule those appointments. If it's for a phone call, it's not a big deal, but they're going to notice that an appointment's been scheduled and say, okay, let's make sure that we get everything that we need in advance of that appointment. So they will set you up with a location on the secure file server so that you can upload your documents. Now, if that's difficult for you, we have a couple of other options too. You can feel free to drop documents off. We can send you a prepaid I think it's a UPS tracking envelope for you to put your documents in and send back to us. That is totally fine, but we do like them in advance of the appointment, and that is for a number of reasons. I don't know what kind of work you do, but I tell you what, when I'm dealing with details like numbers, if I'm going to prepare the return, I have to have at least 3 days after preparing that to shake all the numbers out of my head and look at it again with fresh eyes, because I really need fresh eyes. Well, the process we have now is I have a preparer who does the first run, and I find that is so much better and really allows me to find and critique things and make the little tweaks necessary. So we will have our return preparer key the return from the source documents that you provide. Then I'll take a look at her work. I'll take a look at your source documents. I'll come up with my questions. I'll see how she did it, if I agree with it, if I want to change things. And then that way, if we have an appointment, I'm ready at the time of the appointment to ask you key questions that the IRS wants me to ask, like, did you invest in virtual currency? Do you have ownership of a foreign bank account? Things like that. And also questions like, I notice husband and wife are working. Do the children are they in childcare? Are they in summer camps? What can we look at for dependent care expense? Things like that, so I can make the most of our time together. Now, if you don't want to have an appointment, I'm glad to do videos like this. I have a software called Loom where I make a lovely little video that goes over your return for you. This is your income. Does this look right? This is your expenses. Does this look right? Let me ask you more about the advanced child tax credit, get some feedback. And it's a wonderful way to go over line by line on your return, but also for you to see what I call a reasonableness test. Does it look reasonable as to last year? Which is one of the reasons why Chris will ask you, if you're a new client, to provide your last year's return. So sorry, we're in nature, there are bugs. So that I can compare and say, does this look reasonable? It looks like income went down $30,000. And you would say, no, oh gosh, that's right, there was a W-2 that I missed because I changed jobs at the beginning of the year. Things like that. So then you would have, after you either have the video conference with me or the video review, you would get a digital copy of your returns to take a look at. Take your time, give me feedback if you want, ask questions if you want. You'll have the signature documents provided that you can sign digitally. The invoice comes to you digitally. You can just key in your bank account and routing number there just to make the payment. Everything is done digitally. If you want the payment for your taxes to be paid digitally, we can do that too. Some people, especially if it's a big bill, they want to pay it manually or have an offer, not an offer, but an installment agreement. That's totally fine. But all of it, beginning to end, from scheduling the appointment to final acts and confirmation, can be done digitally. You don't even have to get a copy of your return if you don't want to. If you're big on not keeping clutter, I'm glad to honor that. I have no problem with sending you just a digital copy, but otherwise I'll mail you a copy that you can then shred in 3, 4, 5 years whenever you're ready to. So I hope that was helpful, and helps you understand a little bit what remote tax work looks like in the era of COVID. And I hope we get a chance to chit chat, visit, or if you just don't have time for that, I understand. Those of us who are working right now are working really, really hard. And that's not even a political comment. It's just because we're all trying to figure out how to do things differently in the era of COVID. So again, if this content is helpful, useful, or beneficial, please do subscribe, like, share the content. Subscribers really help improve how this content gets delivered to other people. So if you think the rest of the world, or at least the rest of the U.S., could benefit from some of these tax tips and information, please do. I would appreciate if you'd subscribe. Take care.